first, we welcome Mr. Glenn Grant, the CEO, Arben, and Ladrim, the engineer. Welcome to the
Yeah,
BSC Daily live stream. How are you guys doing?
thank you. Very nice to be here. Thank you for a good introduction. And
Yes, my pleasure. Glenn?
Yep. Thanks, Daley. A bit early here. I've only been through a pint of coffee so far, but looking forward to it. And thank you for the kind introductions. I'll give what I want to do first off, Daley, is just do quick introductions to the whole team, if I may.
Yeah.
I'll start off with the chap just below me, Arben. Arben obviously is one of the founders of SolarX. And been making this amazing bit of kit with the mining rig, and something I know that's been probably taking up probably 23 out of 24 hours of his day. Then we have also the engineer here. And usually engineers, as you probably know, and probably as your community know, don't usually come out in daylight hours. They're usually locked in a room with a bottle of Coke and a copy of World of Warcraft.
Well,
But
because this is SolarX, so we gotta come out in the time.
I've managed to promise him that it'll be a new bit of PC equipment if he makes an appearance. I've also threatened him with impending violence, so he managed to say yes on the last count. And lastly, me. Well, you probably guessed by my hairstyle and the salt and pepper in my beard that I can safely say that I'm probably the oldest member of the crew here. If I do have a birthday cake, the fire brigade is on standby. But I bring that experience from both the traditional background and the crypto background. And I'll just do a little bit of background on myself, and then I'll let Arben and obviously the engineer scare you as well. I come mainly from the traditional background. I've lived and worked in foreign exchange, broking desks and interbank desks in Europe, Asia, Australia, the US, and the Middle East. I've also founded a couple of brokerages as well. And then I saw the light, as you crypto guys seem to say, quite a lot of occasions, where I worked for Kraken as a director in the Middle East and helped them gain a license with the ADGM in Abu Dhabi. What brought me to SolarX? I'd recently finished a project with another layer one blockchain company. And was just kicking back, moved to New York, and was deciding what to do next and what offer to take up next. And someone introduced me to SolarX. And first off, they said, oh, it's a mining thing, that runs by the sun. So that, first of all, piqued my interest and got me interested. And then I started speaking to Arben, the founder, and I liked where they wanted to be and what they were doing and their ethics behind the whole project. And first and foremost, bringing crypto down to the masses, pretty much, because as you know, crypto at the moment is probably the domain of large institutions or people with very, very deep pockets that can afford to buy these masses of rigs and stash them everywhere in comparative mining farms. So the idea of bringing that idea to the masses, I've always been a supporter of in everything I've done. So I decided to actually hook on to the SolarX wagon and see where it takes us. So that's what brought me to SolarX. So I can probably pass over to Arben now, and he's going to tell you completely the opposite of how I actually joined.
All right, Arben, go ahead, please, man.
yeah, the reason of joining on crypto and this journey, it was in 2017 when we start mining. It was a way how to make money, and when you touch it, you can believe it more, and this is why we started mining Ethereum back on the time, and we love it, the proof of work concept, by participating and by giving work on that blockchain, and you get the rewards and stuff. So we started 2017 and we continued on mining, on trading till 2021. The best thing for us was we keep mining even on the bear markets and stuff. So we didn't have too much difficulty and too much against us on mining. So and then we continue like this until 2021, and then with the problems Europe was facing with electricity and with the problems Ethereum was facing with the gas fees and stuff. So even was the mining machine was very hard to maintain. The expenses of electricity bills was so high and stuff. So if they remove it from proof of work to proof of stake, and where it didn't you couldn't mine anymore. We thought what to do different. We looked the reasons because we were like miners all the team, and the reason like let's build something that will be way more easy to mine. And then we continue like this. We also jumped on helium mining. It was proof of cover, and basically we eliminate all the problems mining have, and we make it this mining machine that mines only from the green energy. It's very easy to set up, and like and now it's finished, like the product is like finished. Now we are doing the blockchain. We are developing the blockchain. We are facing some like we want to do the validation on the blockchain different ways to be more fast and to have a lot of speed on the TPS. So now things are getting rolling and the things are going good.
Okay, a very important topics that you mentioned in your introduction there, which we will be talking in a little bit. Which you mentioned, there are a lot of, because you guys are so such OGs in Ethereum proof of work mining time, and you saw a lot of issues with mining rigs and crypto mining in general. And the machines are hard to maintain. I agree. Also, the fees are a little bit too high, electricity, right? And so you said with this product of SolarX, you are making crypto mining to them, you're bringing it to the mass. Everyone can just mine it because how easy it is and how cost efficient it is. Okay, so that's very important. We will be touching on that later bit. So let's move on to Live Dream. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
What's the
Thank you,
key?
Daley. Thank you, Glenn and Arvin, also for inviting me, and thank you for allowing me to join you. Uh, from my side, so basically, I worked as an engineer like for 6 to 7 years from a young age, from 16 years. I was introduced to mining through 2016, and all the time I was like jumping into fixing, setuping, selling, buying ant miners such as S9, S19 plus, L3 plus, uh, and the other miners like Helium, as Arben mentioned. We've been through mining through a lot of time, and then when Arben and some other friends started the SolarX, they just invited me like, hey, as you know, like you have a lot of knowledge by miners and non-miners, mining rigs with GPUs and everything. Could you step up to help us? And I was gladly joined them because it was such an interesting project. It had a lot of challenge, but I think
Hmm.
with a great team of engineers on hardwaring and softwaring as well, it was a really great work for everybody. So yeah, that's how I got involved with SolarX, and it's a
Hmm.
great experience, I think, from my side.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right. Thank you guys so much for the introduction. Now, people, we
For
are
sure.
starting to get into the deep dive right now. So, again, pay attention. If you have any good questions about the project, be prepared beforehand and then send it in the second part. Okay. Not right now. In the second part, I already see a few Solar X supporters in the chat. Welcome to BSC Daily. Now, moving to the important question that I think we all have. What is SolarX in details? Again, it's not as simple as a mining rig, solar powered, but you have an ecosystem behind that, right?
Yep.
And yeah, do you want to mention briefly, what are the important components of the project as well?
Yeah, I can step up to those questions. I can answer it easily. I think if you mean by whole SolarX, we have created everything
Hmm.
from 0 to 100, from the blockchain to the device of that mines uh, to the swapping and everything. But if we are talking about more about mining, I think for a device, it's been a pretty hard challenge to set it up. But for the main components of our mining rig, which we call it SolarX mining rig, it's going to be only a solar panel and a device that inside has a main board, which does the main work actually, does the mining, and it has a micro unit controlling for the timings of solar panel and battery charging. So we have a battery inside the device as well. So the device will come like in a box, like only the device and the solar panel, and it's really easy to set up inside the device. As I mentioned, there is a main board. The main board is produced from us from 0 to 100. We obviously use third-party components because that's just how electricity works. But I think so, yes, the MPPT, or as we call it, the microcontrolling unit, controls the timing of solar panels, which will be used to charge the battery. So, like, make it more efficient during the day. Yeah. as the title says, like make it more efficient during the day, where the solar panel not only like is going to charge the battery, but at the same time is going to give power to that motherboard while it's sunny. And at the night, when the voltage of the solar panel is going to drop, obviously the battery is going to power up and step up to mine until the morning. But that battery is capable of like mining through 50 hours, and we are trying to improve that without needing any solar panel power. So basically, you can mine over 2 days without having any sun, which is not a real use case in today's world because we have sun every day, like 13 to 14 hours. But we have thought with that, like for countries where they have a really short days, like Scandinavian or Nordic countries,
Yeah.
where yeah they have low light maybe through the day and low temperatures as well. So yeah, we have thought about everywhere in the world where you can mine with SolarX device.
So you saying someone from London can also mine this thing and not gonna be
Yeah,
afraid
yeah,
of
of
it?
course, yeah, of course.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I don't know.
Yeah, of
London's
course.
pretty
Yeah, no
shit though.
problem.
No,
Yeah, I
just
know
joking.
about that, but yeah, we have thought about everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay, so folks, this is their website right now. Just solarx.ai. The equipment seems to be pretty simple. Just a solar panel, just a small one,
yeah,
attached to a roof or roof of your car, for example, or a house. And then we have a hardware. It looks pretty cool in terms of the design. And now and you said that this solar panel will power the mining hardware, and
yeah.
then it will automatically mine for us. Now, can you walk us through the process of actually setting up this thing? Like, as you said, it's simple, but how simple is it really for a non-tech guy, myself, for
Uh,
example?
yeah, it's going to be really simple compared to the other old ant miners or mining rigs with GPU because you are going to be setting it up only from your iPhone, like your smartphone,
Well,
even if it's Android. Yeah. So
uh-huh.
basically, you are first going to connect through Wi-Fi to this device because first, when you set it up, in the first time powering on, there's gonna be an AP or an access point. So you basically are going to connect to it, and then you are when you order the device, there's a secret key going to be like unique for each device. So you're gonna have that secret key. You're gonna put it there, like through, and you're gonna put your Wi-Fi SSID or Wi-Fi name of your house and the password, and you're just gonna press connect, and that's gonna be like setting up the old device because the main steps are like done in the website part, like the unique ID is gonna be shipped to you and everything. So yeah, I think it's gonna be really easy for the setting up the device and for setting up the solar panel. We also thought about that. We are trying to implement a new way on our website where you can like calculate where are you placed. Yeah, so we're gonna get your geolocation and then you're gonna get like where you're going to point your solar panel towards the south, towards like east south or west south. So yeah. So but mainly it's gonna be towards the south. So yeah. With the device, there's only one cable that you're going to connect to from solar panel to the device. So that cable is the cable of the solar panel. So yeah, I think you are going to be ready with that. And the cable is actually pretty long, so you can put your mining device inside your house, and the solar panel could be on top of the roof of your apartment, flat, or house or maybe even car if you're trying to take it with you wherever you go.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Here we go. This is, I think, the application that
Yep.
the
Yeah.
interface that
Yeah.
how it would look like. Very simple, very straightforward. You can
Yeah.
monitor the hashes and the temperatures and everything in real time, in the
Mhm.
convenience of your own smartphone. Now, my next question about this would be: so I have a friend who's also sort of like mining Bitcoin back in 2020, so he's pretty late to the game. He has a pretty simple setup with a few hardwares on top, and in his house, when I what not his house, his room, when I go to his room, I see all these wires everywhere. It's pretty messy, it's pretty complicated.
Yeah.
With this clean setup, but it's all because you need really strong power to mine Bitcoin, right?
Hmm.
It's very
Hmm.
competitive.
Yeah.
So when you were talking about a setup of this simplicity and clean, like how is it generating enough power for us to mine a SolX token? In theory, because if, let's say in the future there are a ton of people start coming in, is it going to be efficient for this setup?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly what we thought about the future more. For the future, first of all, we are trying to make new devices, like not only this one, but this one is gonna be like useful for 10 to 15 years with SolarX or even more. Hopefully, we are trying to reach that. We are testing that all the time. But for that, now we have created a new blockchain, as it's as maybe people are not aware of it. We have created a new blockchain which is called proof of green energy. So like the green energy is gonna be like proof of what you're actually mining, what you're actually doing. Like you are using the sun like a generator, so you are not using electricity or like third party source power. So basically, you are using the sun, and that's gonna be like your proof that you are actually contributing to our green energy blockchain. And yeah, that's basically it. I think. For more, maybe Arben can add more or Glenn can add more if you want for the blockchain also of the proof of green energy if you want to talk through more.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about the blockchain.
Yep.
Yeah, basically about the blockchain, when we thought like we thought like let's create something that it will not have the gas fee on it, like skyrocket like we had on Ethereum. Let's have something that it will be way more faster and because when we did the exploring, for example, when we were working on a proof of work like Bitcoin and Ethereum Classic and like Raven coin, those coin other proof of work, we loved this thing because you were participating on that blockchain and you like get returns because you're doing transaction for them. People could like use that blockchain, and this was the main idea. The other thing, like let's make it more cheap, so like to don't have like the gas fees on it and stuff, and let's have the validation on the block. Let's be way more faster than the Bitcoin other. So basically, I can't like talk too much of it right now, but what I can say is like it's very fast the TPS on it because we were thinking to increase the block size and to make this pipeline on it, like the transaction and stuff. Like we have Algorand, I think, is doing right now that thing. So like this thing is already on testing, and when it's like finished, we will launch first the testnet, and then we will launch the mainnet. So basically, for example. Different from the proof of cover that Helium has, or like proof of data that Cyrus is trying to build right now by collecting data. And if you like send data to that blockchain, then you will get like rewards from it. So
Hmm.
basically, all blockchain will be like proof of green energy. Like you will have to give to the blockchain that you are using green energy to mine. And this thing right now has been done like on the mining device. The mining device knows when you're like using the solar panels to mining and when you're like trying to connect on the electricity directly. So like this is so this is right now has been done, and the miner know this thing. So until now everything is going good, and it's like I think we will be on time to launch it.
Okay.
If I want, I will jump also on the mining Bitcoin. Is that on the beginning when you start mining Bitcoin, you could use like even some small mining device, even your like PC or
Yeah.
laptop you could use because it didn't have too much difficulty on it. But like with halving on the Bitcoin, that we don't have halving. The reason why we don't have halving is just right now the difficulty on the Bitcoin is some sort of halving because a lot of people are joining on it and it had make like difficulty on it. Like the halving, it will make worse on the miners, but better on the price because if the demand is the same and the supply is like getting less for the miners also in circulation, then the price will go high. But we faced this problem, for example, for example, some state in 2021 start banning mining with electricity because they were facing problem with electricity, and they were thought to ban mining with electricity because Bitcoin and Ethereum and those big networks that we have already, they use a lot of electricity on it. So like we thought let's build something different, and we already are like on development on it, and it's like almost finished.
Okay, I see. I see.
Yeah.
No, I
So
agree with the Bitcoin part, and so let's go to Glenn because I want to pick your brain about this thing. So you
Oh.
being a senior, it's not going to be a hard one. You
Ooh.
being a the newest addition to the project because previously you told me that you were so excited about the project and the vision of the team. That's why you decided to onboard, right? So being a senior in a is the oldest, the wisest personnel. It's in the team. How do you feel about this new technology? Is it easy to understand even for someone who's not very technical like
You're
you?
just going to, I'm just going to prompt you there. You're just going to say, is it easy to understand for someone
Yeah.
as old as you? Right? You're going to
Well, I
say
don't want
that.
to say that.
Yeah,
I mean,
you want to say, and it's
come on.
fine. It's fine. Look, I come from that traditional background, and I think one of the look, if I think if we're all honest with one another, one of the things that stopped crypto and blockchain from being taken up in the wider sense is the technology block, right? Whereas my mantra is, if I can't explain something to my parents or my grandparents in simple terms that they understand, then it's failed. And let's be honest, I think up until now, from the creation of the first paper by Satoshi up until now, I think that crypto and blockchain as a whole has pretty much failed. And I know that's kind of like a controversial sort of view, but it hasn't made one iota of difference. And everyone says, it's the 1% getting rich from the 99%, and crypto and blockchain realizations should change that. I don't think personally, again, another controversial view, that has happened. The only thing that's happened thus far is the 1% has stopped wearing suits, and now the 1% is by a PC, right?
Mm.
Very, very heavy tech level. So the one thing that I've always tried to do throughout my career is obviously bring ideas and bring practices and bring theories down to the wider audience and down to the wider general public. And that disconnect is apparent at the moment with what this product is actually aiming at, which is mining. And if you haven't got massive deep pockets, if you haven't got access to a decent source of electricity that's cheap, constant, and meaningful, and if you haven't got access to a large mining farm, then you're not part of actually generating what's out there in the wider geographic regions. So what SolarX is actually solving in this wider problem is it's bringing it down to, you can also be very, very green and very ecological friendly, which is a very, very important part where we're all moving, and economies worldwide are moving to that greener future. But you can also be part of the blockchain. You can also be part of the crypto sphere. And all this is actually going to require from you is the download of a very simple app, whether it be on Google or the Apple Play Store. And all it's going to entail you is finding where that yellow thing in the sun, in the sky is pointing, which for some people out there, our friends in Scandinavia for 3-4 months of the year is kind of difficult. And ditto here in New York. But so it brings it down to the base level, and it brings it down to a very, very easy to understand practice. Whereas beforehand, you needed to have a degree in God knows what to actually understand what was going on in crypto and blockchain. Now you all just need to know, get your rig, plug it into a solar panel, point the solar panel at the sun, keep up to date with what's actually happening with your app, and you too can be a participant as a node and as a participant in green energy, and also earn while you're actually committing to this practice.
Fantastic.
So it levels everything out, I think, Daley. And that's the
Yes.
thing that I'm most attracted by.
Okay, that's fantastic. That's a very clear explanation of how this works, and I think that's very important. If you want to onboard the mass, you want to make it as simple as possible. So that's going to be my next question, because you mentioned a very important part. You can actually earn with that, and I guess that's very important for every miners. So I'm very curious as to how the rewards are being calculated, because in a proof of work network, for let's say like Bitcoin, right? We all compete. We all need as much GPU power as possible to validate the blocks, confirm transactions, to earn the rewards. So how is the mining reward in SolX calculated with your machine, and what is the optimal method to extract max value for our cost?
Uh, yeah, I can step up to that question. I think like bot mining rewards calculation, just like every other mining rigs and ant miners or device operate with a network where the level of difficulty is like influenced by the total the mining power that's presented to our blockchain. So in our unique mechanism on our blockchain, the higher the wattage on our network, so actually wattage is like the our value of the mining, like you have hash rate and proof of work. Blockchains, we have wattage, like it's like the power that you are using, your consumption.
Mhm.
So the greater the challenge is going to be. But like essentially our devices function based on an equation that incorporates all the wattage currently like on the present network, on the present proof of green energy blockchain, in addition to your individual wattage contribution. So basically you are calculating every node, every miner, what's mining inside the blockchain, and you're going like to have it for only your individual like reward. So you're going to be breaking down the block on your individual rewards, like basically from all the wattage that's going to be on the network. You can check the mining calculator as well.
I am actually taking a look and I'm reading
Yeah,
this one. So it's just like other mining rigs
yeah,
and miners, our device faces a certain level of difficulty. The higher
yeah.
the wattage on our network, the higher the difficulty. So instead of hash rate, you have something called the watts or the
Wattage. Yeah,
wattage.
yeah.
Okay. Do you want to elaborate more as to how this works? What is this watt from? Is it from the solar power?
Yeah,
And
it's like
yeah,
solar power, like calculated, like what you are bringing, like what the voltage. Like for example, we have the max voltage like at 20, 23.4, but when it's actually connected to a circuit to the main board, it's going to be like 18, and that's going to be multiplied by 1.16 amperes, which is basically voltage multiplied by ampere is going to bring you wattage. So like basically you're gonna have that, and also you are going to calculate the power that's coming through the battery as well. So those are like go into the circuit, like they are calculated through multiple sensors and the calculators we set up on the main board first, but actually inside our firmware as well. So then they're going to be like calculated, and that you're gonna have like what your wattage is like on the network.
uh-huh. Uh-huh. So I think it's similar to hash rate where they you guys calculate all the watt
Yeah,
generated by
exactly.
Carousel. Okay. And
Yeah,
then distribute
exactly.
them among the miners.
Yeah.
All right.
By the calculator, like you are seeing now, when you add 1, 2, or 20 watts, like it's going to be like showing a value because it thinks that you are the only one connected to the, or you are the only one going to be connected with a wattage to the blockchain. When there's actually active wattage going through our blockchain, then it's going to be like adding all that watts plus your watts, and it's going to be calculating what's the your minute or day or week or monthly profit.
I see.
Yeah.
The good thing as well, Daley, is you don't necessarily need a degree in algebra to actually understand this, because the app that actually accompanies the mining rig actually gives you that calculation in real time as well. So you
Yeah.
don't have to sit down and go, what are all these numbers?
You're
It
right.
actually does it for you. And again,
Yeah.
simplifying mining the SolarX way.
Okay, you're right. You're right. You're right. Um, yes, I'm gonna have a check the app out. It's not live
Yeah,
yet,
sure.
isn't it?
Correct.
No,
It's
the
Okay.
not live yet.
application is not live.
Okay, I see. So I'm very excited to see, what the app would look like, how it calculates everything, and but when it comes to the device, the SolarX device, has it been live yet? Can we pre-order it right now? And if we can, if we mine the token, what can we use it for at the moment? Is it because the blockchain is not live yet? You know.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. About pre-ordering the device, I think that's not open yet. Like pre-ordering the device.
Hmm.
But we have finished it. It's on a final, but we are waiting only for developers to finish the blockchain actually. So then we need to do like just a bit more testing with a fully up functional blockchain on a live environment, on
Hmm.
live use cases. So yeah, but I think that's gonna be done pretty soon after this pre-sale that we are having with Switch here. Yeah. So and actually, uh, enough for people to mine the token instead of investing in a BTC mining rig.
Oh, that
For
was the next
example,
question. That,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm just rereading it because I want to understand it more. Uh, First of all, the price of this mining device is gonna be like much more dropped down than the other ant miners. And the
Mhm.
second reason of it that the return of the investment is going to be pretty huge and pretty fast, I think, because you are not spending electricity, you are not spending like third-party powers, you are just spending the power generated from the sun, from the solar panel. So that's going to be actually pretty profitable for every user. And what we have thought, like bringing this price down, we have streamlined our device to a price where it's pretty affordable for everyone. The price is not public yet, but when you see it, I think you're gonna be like pretty fascinated at what we could achieve.
Hmm.
So for the price, yeah, that's it. And actually, that some technical prospect that I want to mention is that this device has like 0 dB, so 0 decibels of like noise. So you can keep it at your room, at your home, everywhere. So you're not gonna have like noise on it. You're not gonna have like these temperature issues like where it's gonna be like pretty hot and you have to ventilate the air inside your house or inside your place where you are keeping the rigs. So yeah, that's the only thing that you want to be hot is going to be the sun and the weather because you're gonna profit from that much more.
I
So
see.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I think that's an issue too, like heating and the noise. I mean,
yeah,
it's totally
yeah.
unbearable too, living in that
Yeah, and
situation.
as Arben mentioned before, like the mining has been prohibited in many countries. It's been banned, like in many countries, because the electricity being spent. But this is a really good way to escape that, because like you're not going to need like to pay bills every month. And why you spending that? Why you spending that electricity from the government or like uh, from your country. So that's gonna be a good reason that you can mine with our device, and you don't have like to give an answer to anybody or like a reason to anybody why you're spending that much because you're only spending for yourself. And the I think the second reason is going to be the CO2 emissions. Like this device, like it's not noisy, it doesn't spend electricity,
Hmm.
uh, so it's only powerful from the sun. So yeah, I think that's going to be a great reason as well. So we are thought about the environment as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So coming up to the next question, question number five, Arvind. Yeah. So it's obviously very attractive to be purchasing this mining rig because first of all, it's very energy efficient, it's very cheap, very easy to set up. But the thing is, we are still mining the token of
Yeah,
SolarX, and the
yeah,
thing about mining is it has to have some sort of utility. It needs to have demands. Right, for
yeah.
people to actually mine like Bitcoin. So, what makes this SolarX ecosystem so attractive for the people to actually mine it instead of other cryptos?
Yeah, no, like I will speak about like how miners, because me, I think I'm more miner than like trader or something like that. So like we always like look to jump on ecosystem, to jump on early when nobody like was mining that that blockchain, because we were miners different from the people that try to mine more coins, rather than they don't like too much of the price, because they know when the demand come and when like the retail people jump on that ecosystem, the prices of rigs will go high, and also the price of the coin will increase. So like miners always try to find new blockchains, new ecosystem that they could mine more early, so like they start accumulating more coins, because on the beginning they will earn more coins, but then on the future more people jump on it, of course they will earn less coins. And in value of money it can be the same, because if the demand is, how I mentioned, like if the demand is like always like demanding and always mining, and the supply is like slowing, the price will go up. So like on the term of like how miners try to invest, because they don't like they what we do, like even we buy the coin sometimes, even the miners, because uh, we want to accumulate as much as we can, because we know when the retail people jump on it, they will like it will get increased at the price. It happened in all like mining coins that were like on the past. And the utility behind is like, it's this is the first miner that we have. Of course we will have on the future different miners, like it will be more big, and like it can also charge your car, or like have like different use cases of it, because you can see now in Europe, on a lot of countries, they are changing, they are going on electric vehicles, like they are stopping working with this diesel or those cars. So like we want to jump on the, like the future is like building also use cases for the for the electric vehicles, so that they can charge it. For example, in my country we have a lot of homes that already they have solar panels, but what they can do is only like supply their home with electricity. But what they can do in the future, also put charging points in front of their home, and people can use their place to recharge their car. So like we have a lot of use cases. First is like to finish the mining machine that is done, finishing the blockchain that is almost done, and then trying to support the blockchain with mining machines by proof of work, by green energy of it, and then start implementing use cases that we have also other miners for gaming and stuff. So like we have like pretty much use cases that you can see on SolarX Web. You can go that you have CloudX that is for gaming, and we have a lot of use cases that we will build. We will build like we build the mining machine.
Yeah, I think also, Daley, one thing I want to add as well is that given that very, very shortly after our listing on the CEX has actually occurred, the blockchain itself is going into testnet. And once that's actually released, and we've been working on that previously in the past, so it should be quite a quick time to market, that's open source. So it not only just leaves just everyone that's in the SolarX ecosystem to work on producing dApps and introducing new ideas to the system, it also opens it up to every other project that is out there that wants to come and build with that eco-green conscious on our blockchain as well. And the good thing about SolarX is that effectively it's in a way it's very, very decentralized, because every mining rig obviously is going to act as its own node. And with that node completely decentralized, if you're looking to build a project, what are you going to choose? Are you going to choose a blockchain that is dependent on several servers having the on switch flicked on? Or would you depend on something that is powered naturally by the sun and is spread over a wide area and that's never going to go down? Because obviously everyone knows that a decentralized network is as good as the numbers, and numbers are the safety. So every mining rig that is deployed globally it underpins the security of the SolarX blockchain. The other thing that we're looking to do, obviously, is be very, very aggressive in the way of actually bringing on new projects. And if you can dream it, if you can build it, then we'll back you. And then I'll go into some more details a bit later on, because I think we're going to have another question on looking forward and what we have planned for 2024, and a delve into the roadmap, so I can elaborate on that. But the good thing about SolarX is that once it is actually released, it's out in the wild, it's open source. You're kind of only constrained by what you can build. And what your ability is to build. And I think it's going to be a different sort of blockchain protocol to the ones that are out there, because you can build something and deploy something and not only have the security of the nodes, which are the mining machines, but if your project wants to run a mining protocol as well and have your tokens mined, then they can also utilize our mining as well. So that's benefit for both parties. It's the benefit for the projects where they can utilize our decentralization, and it's the benefit for the people that have actually purchased the mining rig. Effectively, they can choose, what coin do I want to mine today? So it makes it very, very economically viable for both parties. It's a win-win situation as such. So that delves into a little bit more of an outlook on what we're actually planning and what the blockchain will actually entail going forward.
Yes, that's very interesting. We touched on this before the AMA, and I'm planning on asking it right now. You said so. A lot of people would, upon a first look at this project, they would think that, wow, this device is only for mining SolarX, which is completely not true. You can use this to also mine SolarX and other tokens in the ecosystem if SolarX choose to incorporate them, right? So, do you want to talk about that process? Because if you want to share power to other to mine other protocols, obviously the power is going to be half, for example, be shared. It will not be as efficient. So when it comes to that matter, what do people need to care about when mining 2 or 3 tokens at the same time with
No,
this SolarX miner?
for example, you can't mine 2 3 tokens on the same time. You are mining Solaris token, but when another coin is built upon Solaris blockchain and they have some supply that they want to be for the miners, you can switch from mining Solaris coin. You can
Oh,
switch to mining that coin, not on the same time 2 3 coins.
I see.
No.
And unless you have 2 or 3 machines,
Uh,
then of course you can have a whole bank of them pointing at the sun
you
and
need
mine
to.
different tokens to your heart's content. Just don't have arguments on between your family and what tokens mining at one moment in time. That could be interesting.
Yeah, having obviously having more machines will increase your chance, increase your earning way more. So let me ask you this. Because SolX has let's talk about the tokenomics. I think you have a limited supply for SolX, right?
Yeah.
And so does that mean that like 10, 15 years in the future, there will be no more SolarX in existence,
Yeah.
and people will have to rely on other tokens to mine with this machine, or do we just throw it in the trash?
If it's 10, 15 years in the future and there's no SolarX to mine, I think the ones that are holding SolarX tokens at that time are going to be very, very happy, right? I'm certainly, I mean, I know our tokenomics for the team is quite a long period in time, but if it's 10, 15 years, then I'm quite happy with that as well. It's all economies of scale, Daley. You know, one of the things that we've been asked before is, obviously, a great deal of our supply and our tokenomics is devoted to the miners. And that's case in point because that's our main product. But that does also raise the counterpoint, and the devil's advocate says, well, okay, if your coin is a really high price, then obviously you're going to get more demand from the miners to actually sell that token. And that's something that's actually been taken into account with the tokenomics, which is deflationary. And one thing we're very mindful of is actually keeping that supply to an acceptable level, because obviously the more supply out there is more pressure on the price going forward. But we have to take care of both sides of the coin, you know, excuse the pun. So one thing that we are doing is actually implementing a burning mechanism on the tokenomics in relation to the miners, that every quarter we will be burning a certain percentage of those mining tokens that are cashed in for real funds, and that will come off the total. So it will act as a suppressant. The other thing that we're actually looking for in the tokenomics, and this is directly related to the mining machines as well, is that when you're actually purchasing a mining machine through our website, you can actually use our token to purchase. And a percentage of that will be burnt as well. So obviously we will be cashing in the tokens to obviously realize the profit on the mining machine, but it'd be a lesser amount to what you've actually purchased. And those that have obviously purchased the SolarX token to purchase the mining rig will get a discount on the usual price if he was taking in, say, Tether or Fiat or any other crypto. So that acts as a bit of a deflationary measure as well. So there is a burn mechanism that's implemented going forward, and that's very, very important. And as you can see on the tokenomics, the highest percentage of allocation out there is to the mining rigs and the miners themselves. Because it has to be. And obviously, after that runs out, hopefully in 10, 15 years, that would be lovely. I'd love it in 10, 15 years because I'd still be just about. Is that there's going to be other tokens on there, obviously, that are going to be mined as well. So this is just one of many. And I hope, you know, in 5 years' time, if we're all still about and also happy and smiling, we come back on your AMA again on Binance Live, then we can say to you, yes, we've got not only got SolarX, but we've got this coin, that coin, this coin, that coin, and which will all have their own different attributes and their own different tokenomics as well.
Fantastic. All right, folks, if you want to check out that tokenomics, is all available on their website, so make sure to tune in. Now, if you are not a miner, right, if you're not interested in mining or purchasing the rigs, it's totally fine. You can purchase their token right now at the moment in their pre-sale. So let's talk about that. So right now it's happening for like 8 cents per token, right? I'm clicking on it right now. We can buy with multiple methods as well, like cards, credit cards, stablecoins. So what do we need to know before joining the pre-sales? What are the criteria?
There's not a lot really to know, Daley. The one thing that we actually strive to do is, I'm a great proponent of choice. And you and obviously your community have already been involved in numerous public pre-sales before. We are only given one choice, and that's the public sale, right? And the public sale obviously is the listing price on the exchange, the first one. We decided to go down a little bit different route. So we decided to go down the route of offering not only the strategic round, so you get a discount of 20% on our listing price, but we're also offering the possibility to actually be a member in the public, as well as be a member of the seed. So you do have that inherent choice, which is something that no other crypto project that I know, unless you have very, very deep pockets, offers you. We've teamed up with an external provider, obviously, to offer a wide range of possibilities, options to pay for the token. And again, I think that sets us apart from a lot of other projects out there that only really accept in crypto. And again, this harks back to the mantra of bringing crypto down to the masses and making it very, very easy to understand. You know, you may not be quite au fait with MetaMask. You may not be quite au fait with Wallet Connect. You may not be quite au fait with all the other crypto components that are out there in order to purchase a crypto token that you wish to purchase. So bringing it down to a very, very vanilla and very, very simple level where you can purchase our coin using not only crypto, but bank transfers, credit and debit cards, and Google and Apple Pay, brings it down to a nice level. But that's not all. You know, the other thing I think that stops a lot of people from getting invested in crypto and being part of the movement is obviously once you do buy your crypto, where do you store it? And all these sort of acronyms come out, wallet this, hash rate this, very confusing. So our third-party partner actually provides you with that wallet when you do the account and when you buy our token. So you don't have to worry about a wallet. The next thing that obviously is quite confusing, okay, there's a vesting schedule like there is with any other crypto project. So how do I go about claiming my coins? And again, other crypto projects will either spin up a claim page for you to try and remember and claim your tokens, or it's airdropped into your wallet and you have to keep track. With our external provider that we've chosen, we've actually implemented an automatic vesting schedule. So you literally have to do nothing. Once you've bought that token, you can sit back and every day, as per the tokenomics and as per the linear vesting, it'll be automatically released in your wallet for you to either trade or to move. So it makes it very, very easy to understand. And for people like me, who's a little bit older, a bit long in the tooth, and the memory's kind of like jagging in and out, it makes it very, very easy for me to actually go onto this external provider, see my internal wallet and see my coins being released as per the vesting schedule on a day-to-day basis until the end. So I think that's very, very important, and it brings it down to everybody's level, whether you're a tech star like our engineer and our co-founder here, or whether you're pretty much from the traditional world and you're a little bit long in the tooth and you don't want to be bothered with all the aggro, and that's me, that's classic me. So yes, we're making it easier, and I think we've actually achieved that as well with this sale.
Thank you so much for that, Glenn. I'm going to walk you through the basics of the TGE if you add token allocation and whatnot, if you participate. This is actually the strategic sale, right? As you can see right here, the price is 8 cents per token, right? Discounted TGE price would be 20%. And the vesting schedule is very simple. If you look at down here, it will be 10% upon TGE, right?
Correct.
Yes, and there will be a 1 month cliff, and then there will be a 12-month investings. Okay, so that's basically in total 13 months you receive it in full. Okay, so
correct, and that's done daily as well. Funny enough, on a daily basis, it's all linear. Because one thing we wanted to avoid, and some of the projects actually pertain to this, is they have a specific day on a month where they release all the tokens.
Yeah,
and I think that's kind of counterproductive to the price itself. It kind of invites a dumping day. So if you mark that in your calendar once every month, it's kind of like where you avoid. I'm much more a proponent of linear vesting. It's much more smoother. It's much more controlled. And it also gives more ability for the purchaser to decide when and where and if they want to obviously purchase more, sell some of the holdings. They're not constrained by a specific date.
I like that. I like that. Thank you so much for thinking about that too. I mean, that's a very important point. Yeah. So, okay. So now that we understand more about the pre-sales and about the tokenomics, I hope that you guys are so pumped and getting ready to participate in pre-sales. May I ask, like, when is the pre-sales going to end? Is it in a week, 2 weeks, or a month?
That's a very good question. Look, at the moment, we're in negotiation daily with a number of centralized exchanges. So not only are we looking to actually list on the centralized exchanges, there's also the DEXs as well, and that will be shortly afterwards in a very, very short time frame. We're very much adhering to their calendar, because, and at the moment, as probably you are all aware, crypto is actually pretty popular, right? So there's a raft of projects that are looking to actually release and actually capitalize on the bull market as we have at the moment. Our calendar we're aiming for is end of April, start of May. So it's quite an aggressive sort of timeline that we have in place. However, as you know, we're kind of beholden to the centralized exchanges. But I'd say around about that sort of window is what we're aiming for. So it may well shift a little bit out in the future, but we're not looking to release this in 6 months, 8 months time. I think I'll be dead by then. if that's the case,
No,
right? Because
come
my
on.
fingers are down to the nubs already by speaking on Telegram. I'm not a typist by any means, Daley. So the sooner we can actually get this out to a centralized exchange and aiming for that sort of window, the better. The strategic sale will be running up at least until that day. So it'll give you all opportunity to actually participate in the strategic round. The public round, we at the moment on the website, we're having you to register. And again, this is another different way we're doing it. Rather than having a whitelist and it's first come, first serve, which I think is a bit unfair, we're going to put this into a big sort of tombola and pick out names. So it doesn't discriminate if you are first on the list or last on the list, because given that you may not hear of us until the last minute, I think that's everyone should have an equal opportunity to actually participate in the public sale. The seed round also is open. We haven't lent on big name VCs as yet. However, we're in the process of doing that. But I'd like to open it up to someone who particularly may have a bigger interest in SolarX, but isn't an institution. And we can give them every opportunity to participate as well. So it's fairly open on all three. So we're giving you not only the choice of payments, the choice of rounds, but the choice of what you want to participate in right up until probably the end, where the centralized exchange gets listed with us.
Nice, nice. And actually, I'm looking at your tokenomics. You also have a round for the KOL, the influencers as well. So, yeah, it's not discriminatory. Anyone can participate in SolarX. If you are just a small influencers with a community, you can go ahead and apply for the KOL round. If you are a VC, you can also do that. Big institutions, large institutions can do that. If you are individual retail investors like me, you can also do that through the pre-sale existing right now. You have about more than a month at the end of April to participate. Date to be updated, but that's a long window for you to gather the funds and actually participate. Vesting 13 months, which will leave us to, let's say, if you don't want to sell, you wait for like a year to get your tokens in full. It's going to be the bull market in 2025. So I hope.
That's what we're.
Yeah, like you timed this perfectly too. Like all the vestings in a year, 2025, 2026 is going to be the bull run. I'm most excited about that time when all my tokens are going to be unlocked. I want to dump on you. Just gonna say it right now. So.
Yeah, thanks for that. No, look, it's completely your choice. I mean, look, one thing I'm a big proponent of is, look, it's your investment, it's your choice, right? And certainly with what we've got planned for 2024, I think that's going to be very exciting as well. I think I can give you a little bit of an insight and a window into that. If you just think this is a sale for SolarX tokens, you'd be wrong. As you know, with SolarX, there's the mining rig and there's also the tokens. And yes, they do have some connection. They work hand in hand. Of course, the token powers the mining rigs power the tokens, and both go hand in hand. The one thing we're looking for is actually to level the playing field elsewhere with respects to crypto. So one of the things we're looking at is launching a launch pad, right? And taking those projects under our wing and pushing them through the process of actually from design stage, from the building stage, from the dev stage, and utilizing our experience and our worries and our stresses, lending that experience to any new project who wants to build on SolarX, and basically taking them from the designs on the back of a cigarette packet to launch. And that includes various components, say, tokenomics designs, tokenomics, legals, engineering, everything will be taken in a project. And of course, part of that obviously means getting some money in at the end of the day, right? And I feel, and Arden feels, and I know that the majority of the SolarX team feel, that it's very, very difficult for a dev to actually wear that combination of hats. Devs are very good at deving, right? They're great at tech, but they don't want to be bothered by the commercial side of things, right? They just want to get on what they're good at. They want to build something that's mind-blowing to them and everybody else, and they know there's an audience out there. They don't want to be necessarily involved in legal. They don't necessarily want to be involved in raising money. They don't necessarily be, the whole raft goes on. So we want to take those projects, actually nurture them, take them through the market, take them from day one to end day with listing on exchange. And part of that, of course, includes launching on a launch pad and utilizing our community. So that's something we want that's going to be releasing soon as well. Again, I'll just touch back on SolarX. Obviously, the mining equipment makes up a big part of the product. So the one thing that we're going to be doing after the tokens release and some months after, later on in probably Q3 2024, is that we're actively looking to raise equity to actually accelerate the distribution and geographic reach of SolarX. Because at the moment, it's just our website, just our distribution. We want to expand that, and we want to have the ability to have funds in order to do that, to bring on more devs, to actually expand the system, to ratchet up the power on the SolarX solar panels, to make the system itself much more efficient, much more powerful. So maybe in the future, who knows, we may be able to actually reach that echelon of actually mining Bitcoin with that investment. So that's something we're looking for at the moment. And that'll be a great leap for us as well, to have that equity investment. We're looking at various partners at the moment, but the partners have to bring something to the table. We're not going to take just a mere injection of cash because it sounds good or it's a good number. We have to actually gain something from that partner as well, whether it's their network or their know-how or their experience in actually being able to actually accelerate projects in the past. We want that as well. So the partner has to be a correct partner as well. The other thing we're looking at just for 2024, and again, this is connected to the Launchpad and the other projects that are choosing to launch on the SolarX blockchain protocol, is launching a crypto exchange. And that will be, hopefully, we're looking at Scandinavia at the moment. So even though in the winter they may not be able to use the mining rigs, they could use a crypto exchange, right? So that's one thing we're looking for. And of course, the whole ecosystem will be connected, and another utility for the SolarX token itself as well. So that's a couple of the things we're actually looking to implement, and that gives you a little bit of an insight in near-term plans that we're looking at. So we have the blockchain, we have the Launchpad, we have the exchange, we have the aggressive grant program for projects looking to build on SolarX, and also utilization of the token going forward.
A couple. I gotta be honest, you guys are very modest. No. You guys are very modest.
This is why I have a lack of hair.
I mean,
I used to, before I joined here, it was down here.
Bruh.
Now,
listen, you make it sound like it's something easy to achieve, but it is really not.
No,
It takes
it's not.
it takes a whole team of experts to know what the heck they're doing in order to pull this off. And an exchange in itself is very hard to pull off because of the competition and how large all the exchanges there are, and also you're building a blockchain and you need to onboard developers. It is completely a different field to the exchange. So you are jack of all trades, but all trades you are good at. Again, I firmly believe that SolarX is going to be the next big thing that we don't want to miss, right? Because of how big the ecosystem is, and how potential they are in terms of growth in the bull run in the next in the next year or so. They're going to be achieving so much. They're going to be rolling out constant partnerships, constant products that is going to increase the utilities of the SolarX token immensely. And that is where the early miners and the early participants to the SolarX ecosystem is going to thrive. Okay, so you need that to become an early bird of the project. So check it out, man. SolarX. All the links is in the description. Right, Twitter, Telegram, pre-sales happening right now. You got about a month left to join, so yeah, make sure to do that. Okay, now that I think that's all my questions for you guys, but I'm sure the community has a lot of them, right? I had to mute them initially because they were spamming questions a lot. So here we go. Let me open up the chat one more time.
Staking SolarX. Yes, that's planned. Not from day one though. That will be in the near future after launch. I could probably have a decent argument on you about the pros and cons of staking. My own personal view is it kicks the can down the road a little bit, but I think if it's managed in a correct manner, then it can be beneficial to a token price. And there are plans to have that staking program in place.
There are plans, obviously. Thank you so much for that question, Fami93. Good job.
Do you want to cover the? There was one about wattage. All right, okay. Do you want to cover that one about increasing the watt share to mine SolarX, Lavda? Because that's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, and it would work.
I
Love
think
that you're mute. Maybe you have mute
La-
the mic.
Larim, you are muted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, my mic issue. Yeah, a really nice question. How to increase my watch share to mine SolarX? By increasing, I think he means like increasing multiple like miners or nodes. So you can only buy miners, but by increasing only a miner's hash rate or wattage, watt share as we call it, you can do that right now due to using like a source of something that's not active all the time, like source of the sun energy. But I think that's a really good question, and we are working on that. Like maybe you can overclock your miner slightly so you can increase like your watch here to mine SolarX.
Thank you so much, Neo10D, for the questions. For now, if you want to increase your watch share, probably buy purchase more
there's,
mining equipment. Yeah.
yeah, there's one on there as well with I think it's Munish asked, can it be used where the government is against
Oh,
mining firms? Uh, they can't stop you unless they've found a way of actually blocking out the sun, which I think is a little bit of a stretch at the moment. Then no government and no one can actually stop you from utilizing the mining of the SolarX mining rig, because all it takes is the sun to actually power it. It's totally portable as well. I know that we mentioned earlier that it's you need an internet connection that's connected up with your Wi-Fi, but nothing is actually stopping you from having that tethered and utilizing your data connection with a cell phone provider. That works equally as well. So you could probably take it in your car with you, take it camping with you, even take it on the beach with you. You know, whatever rings your bell in taking your mining rig with you, then look, no one can stop it, because then they can't pull the plug. And look, I'll touch on some of the proposed regulations that are being proposed over here in the US with regards to mining. There's several laws or several mutters of proposed law changes over here that they want to get mining farms regulated and constrict their electricity supply. That's something that's never ever going to happen with a SolarX mining rig.
thank you so
Yeah,
much for the question, Munish.
I also see a really nice question from Zika underline two. How will the
Uh,
upgrades or updates be made in the setup over time?
nice.
Yeah, that's a really good question. The thing, I think this is a part that we made from the early beginning, because we constantly need to do updates of the firmware for security patches, security reasons, and the performance improvements as well. So we have thought that we are going to use not only we are using for the device the Wi-Fi, not like LAN Ethernet cabling. We are using the Wi-Fi, but also for the software or firmware updates, we are using like over-the-air updates. So like on iPhone, where you like firstly you can read the terms and agreements for that upgrade. If you obviously you are the user, so you don't want to like be mean to yourself. So you can read like what we are security patching, what we are improving this performance, what we are bug fixing if there's any. So yeah, we are using like over the air, so you don't need like a cable or anything. You can just accept it from your phone application, and then the update will start automatically. So yeah,
Go
really
on,
good
Arvin,
question.
pick out a question.
Yeah, I will go just to participate. Does SolarX provide lifetime help desk to user?
Ah,
Jimmy is Jimmy on
good one.
yeah, Jimmy. Like we have after sales service that will take care like for the users that have ordered the mine device, and they have support 24/7. They will just can jump on the web, ask for the help they need, and it will be sorted out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Straightforward. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Jiminy, for the question. I think with that we have answered one, two, three, four, five already. So that was extremely perfect. Gotta be honest with you. So thank you so much, guys, for sending all your questions. Like I select way more, but we don't have enough time to be answering. So check out their Telegram right now, right? If you have great questions you would like to be answered, they'll be in support 24/7. Okay, so check them out on their Twitter, on their Telegram. Now, before we sign out, do you have any closing remarks to the BSC Daily, SolarX, and Binance community watching this live stream?
Yeah, I can say, look, it's been great to actually have this AMA. This is one of the first we're having of many. So it's actually good to actually start getting the word out to the community itself. I think you're probably going to hear a lot more of SolarX in the near future running up to our exchange launch. Our marketing plan has only just started. Our distribution plans only just started. There's a lot of news coming thick and fast. There's a lot of upgrades coming thick and fast. So it really is going to be one of those projects that accelerates quite a lot. I hope we've actually explained to you a lot more and in depth in the weeds about what the mining project and product is all about. I hope we've actually answered the majority of your questions regarding the tokens and the tokenomics and the utility of the SolarX token going forward. And I hope that we've actually answered a lot of questions about where we are at the moment, what we're planning to do, and what the long-term future is, not only for SolarX, but obviously for the community as a whole, but also anyone that decides to build on the SolarX protocol and integrate with us and obviously grow with us in partnership going forward. So it's been a really good experience for us to actually have this AMA with you. The questions that everyone's been asking has been really good, and we've been really impressed by that. And it'd be good to see all these questions and interactions, obviously, on our social media going forward as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Arvin? Latrim?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Like, it was very good EMA. Like, we will have a lot of other CMA that people can jump and ask us. Of course, they are more than welcome in our social medias, and they can also ask us directly there. So, like, thank you. Top stuff.
Yeah, thank you, Daley, for hosting this AMA. Firstly, I think it was a really great AMA, and also thank you everybody from the community that's supporting us. And also, I see a lot of great questions. I'd like to answer them all, but the time is an issue. But if you have any other questions, you can jump at our website or social media as the support or make a tag us. We'll try to update you as soon as possible. So thank you, guys.
And here's the other different thing as well before we go. Our engineer is available. I know I said earlier that most engineers stay in a dark room, in a locked room with a 3-litre bottle of Coke and a copy of World of Warcraft. Our engineer actually is quite socially available, so I'm sure he'd entertain you with the questions as well, right? We let him out. We do let him out.
A lot of projects that I've been involved with, they always let it to the chat managers to manage things. Obviously, Solex is the same, but they also have the developers being very active on social. So if you have any technical questions, don't hesitate to be asking them in Telegram on their website. In support, they have a live chat, right? So again, thank you guys so much for watching this wonderful AMA with SolarX and BSC Daley. It has been a wonderful one. Thank you again so much to Clan, Arbin, and Labdream from SolarX for making this happen. Hope you guys nothing but the best, and looking forward to the bull run at the end of 2024, 2025 to see what you guys can manage to achieve with this amazing product. See ya. And
fantastic.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
mate.
See you.
Thanks, Colin.
Bye bye.